With every good Bollywood movie, you have 10 shit films coming along. Last 2 years, we have been seeing a great inflow of content on Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, everywhere. But then, you have seen garbage as well. With all those housefuls and dabangs, I think your mind has given up. But again, today I'm not here to discuss about the content, the shit content which goes around in Bollywood. Of course not. But then we are going to discuss about the last 10-15 years, how Bollywood has evolved, how there has been a cultural shift, how our movies are getting bolder, we have stronger content, and in last probably 2-3 years, our content has become even more bigger. And guys, here I am today discussing the Bollywood evolving in last 15 years, and we have with us the very special guest, very beautiful Trupti Sagar. She is a social media blogger, Instagram blogger, actor, model. And you guys are watching Minding My Business, and I'm your host, Avi. Trupti, thank you for coming to the show. As we have seen in the last 15 years, we have seen a flow of content. And my first point here is when I talk about a movie which came out in 2008 called Dostana. And obviously our audience, everyone has seen and how they have represented LGBTQ over there. Maybe in 2008 it was a very unique concept, but then we know the movie had its flaws. And when in 2020 a movie comes like Shubh Mangal Zyada Savdhan and a guy like Ayushmann Khurrana and the YouTube star Jitendra Kumar do a kiss, we really realize that Bollywood, even in such a bold content, such a bold subject, we have evolved. And I think from Dostana, if you choose between Dostana and Shubh Mangal, I think the bolder choice is Shubh Mangal. And with this LGBTQ topics evolving in Bollywood, I think we have a lot of more films to talk about. But I mean, Trupti, what do you have to say about this kind of change?
I think Dostana movie, it was more like a gimmick, having fun, and it was a comedy movie. There was nothing which actually showed like people how LGBTQ, like how the gays and everything, they are how they are. They just showed two straight guys acting like gays. That's it. But their main love interest was a female. So that's something how it was shown, and somehow it was more made fun of the LGBTQ, the whole thing. It was more of making fun of how they are or something. No, but they are just as people like I. And somehow I think so. The reason why they did not made it like how Shubh Mangal Savdhan is because people did not have that open mind.
Yeah, the perception was different.
Perception was different. They were like thinking, okay, we'll get a backlash about this thing. So either because that was not a right time. Right now, it's a right time where people.
Because as an audience, you think we have changed? Like I think we are willing to accept more such content.
Yeah, different content. Like first, you used to see movies happening in Switzerland. Now it's happening into a gown, a desi gown and everything. Like examples, it was an amazing movie. First, like Rajkumar Rao. Now he's a very average-looking guy, but what an actor, what a talent. Okay, and the side actors in that movie was so
beautiful,
on point.
Apar Shakti.
Yeah, they were on point. Their pitching, their acting, the way they portrayed themselves, like
amazing.
They were amazing. Like this is something where people want to see the truth in now. If they're placing something, because movies are influencing people, they are an influences itself. If they are showing something, people want to see the true thing. What time gaya ke Shah Rukh Khan coming from the plane, Ma coming with the arcade, super rich family. No, we all know it's not there anymore. If there are some people who are prestigious, who are privileged, but not everyone. So this kind of a thing, it takes time. So when Shubh Mangal Savdhan came, people even did support it. That was really nice. Even straight, it got a good, nice, positive review.
The reviews, it made money. I mean, I was happy the movie made money in theaters.
And it was like good. Like a guy came up and he said like, yes, we'll do this thing. And they even had a kissing scene where you see in Dostana, they are just mocking it out. They didn't even do it. And it was like more treat to and kind of a treat or thing to like gay people. Okay, we want something like John Abraham or Abhishek.
Yeah.
This is where they can relate.
So, I mean, Trupti, see, the last 4-5 years, I mean, we are seeing a lot of influx of new type of content. Obviously, LGBTQ topics are again very different and they have to be made well. But apart from that, I think, have you noticed like in last 5 years, I think the female-centric films have increased in a sense. We always had female-centric films before, but now I think even the budgets have increased. I mean, 10 years back when you see a Vidya Balan just doing a kahani, and I mean it made loads of money, thank God, but we didn't have much for the next few years. Only now when we see last 4-5 years, I mean people are actually going out to the theatres and watching a Tanu Vej Manu or a Queen or any Tapsi Pannu movie, Thappad, and they are actually making money. So do you think this change is nice, and do you think because the OTT platforms have come and because there are more viewability has increased, such topics are easily coming out?
See, first there was this kind of movie, but people did not had a good sponsors or anything. Like Shabana Azmi, she also had Vedita Shabana Azmi and Rita Patil,
Smita Patil.
Smita Patil.
Yes,
okay. They were the ladies who actually made this kind of movies, but they were more of an artistic kind of a cinema. They never got the screens on big platforms to portray, but they were amazing artists. But now people they want to see more of a woman than just a sex object who is just doing an item number, just standing next to a man and just showing their beauty or something. No, now people want something.
Now people want something.
Like Radhika Apte and everything, and which women are very, very true to audience. They relate to them. So that's the reason. And when we see Vidya Balan when she's coming up, and best thing about that lady, she has accepted herself how she is. Okay, and though she got into, which is very inspiring. Like you accept yourself, world will accept you. Then comes Tapsi Pannu and everything. They had their own struggle, their own journey, and when they started making movies where it's like a single. Even example, Priyanka Chopra in fashion, that was really amazing. She and Kangana Ranaut. These women are making up a mark. They are getting equal to men, and they are also doing action movies as well. So it's like really nice to see these women doing that thing, which slowly, obviously, there are very handful of them. Okay, when you compare Hollywood, Angelina Jolie is like, she can take the whole movie on her khamba. Okay, Marilyn, she can take the whole movie. Okay, they don't need anybody else, just a name itself. So there is a huge journey to go from here to there, where we still need some.
And as an audience also, I think we are evolving now and accepting such movies as well.
We are just not seeing women as a sex object. We want them to act also. There is a reason why star kids, the female star kids, they get, because we don't want them to just stand like a statue. We want them to act and see what they can do. You are not just a pretty face. Now we have to show. Now because people are more willing to see characters which are true to their character, not just like any falana, just unko thoda sa gaon wala bana diya, just fake accent. Now people want to see this thing. I think there was a debate about Bala movie where obviously what's her name?
Yami Gautam, Bhumi Pednekar.
Now she is an amazing actress, okay, but the only thing people actually had a problem, like why you made her a dark when you can actually get a
why you are casting a much more lighter women.
When you can get the same character, same thing. So like now people want what character is played, get into that. I think more smaller, that's the reason why if you see smaller platforms like even in TV or Netflix or these kind of a drama, people really love watching those who are true to it. You feel kind of connected. You feel like, okay, this is the whole scenario. When you are sharing some kind of true events or based on a true events, they like to see this thing.
I mean, when we see those, we can't like not talk about cringy stuffs. I mean, when in Bollywood, like a houseful is made 4 times, a golmaal is made 4 times, and you have the Bongs coming out thrice, and then these producers and directors come and say ki we are making movies for the masses. Now the problem is, Houseful 4 made like more than 200 crores, and was it really nice? No. It was complete shit. So box office doesn't mean anything, but the fact is that somehow they get a feeling that okay, if it's making money, we're gonna keep making it, and they keep misinterpreting that okay, no, this is too good, and that is not what the masses want. I mean, you cannot make completely like keep going and making golmaals and all that stuff. This is something which I think I think they need to understand. There is a need for them to understand. And then coming to another question where I have been seeing like, okay, filmmakers like Karan Johar's and David Dhawan's, now they have been making movies for ages. Probably we all liked David Dhawan's and Karan Johar's movie like 10 years back. but then not now, not anymore, because now they come out as very cringy and probably something which we don't accept.
Student of the year 2.
Student of the year 2.
Oh my god.
I mean, obviously they have a...
Sorry to cut you, but I still support Golmaal 1.
Golmaal 1, yeah.
Why? Because somehow that was taken from a play itself.
It was taken from a play.
From a Gujarati play. So that's the reason. Then they just started
They
making...
attempted to,
Then they started making very cringy kind of a thing. So first movie, I can accept it. But later on,
it became, oh my god. I mean, then apart from this, now, in the late 2000s when we saw movies like Masaan, Udaan, now you are seeing Ayushmann Khurrana doing wonderful stuff. So, I mean, where do we, as an audience now, I just want to know your point of view, because we have seen cringe, we have seen stuff which we thought was great, but now
then
it comes out as cringe.
Then there's a movie called Sanju also.
Sanju.
Which I like.
Lies.
But which is a lie.
Which is a lie.
To clear someone's image.
Ranbir Kapoor was amazing. As a film, I would come out and say wow. But if you're calling it a biopic, sorry, I cannot accept.
Yeah. Because it was just playing with people's emotion.
Correct.
Showing a maa ka ladla beta. But we cannot forget this thing that he was into drugs. He was from a privileged family. He got into drugs.
And it's
he got into the
not cool. It's not cool too. Yeah.
So now people this kind of a thing that I don't want to keep into the younger generation. Okay, 300, 600 mera tha. I'm sorry, dude. That's
Come on, it's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable. You cannot do this thing. Plus, having guns in your house is also not acceptable. Just and having connection with underworld is not acceptable too. But people just made the whole thing like okay,
to clear his name. And then a maker like Rajkumar Hirani, when he does it, obviously people will go and watch. I'm not saying Ranbir Kapoor did a bad job, but the movie itself was so flawed.
Coming from PK and 3 Indian and then doing such. PK 3 Indian was amazing and it was literally talking about the whole situation. But then coming this thing, I was like, no thanks. And obviously, I want to even point out one more thing beside the whole cringy thing. Like 90s mein Govinda chalta tha. It was like a Disney movies because we were 10 years old and something. But right now it's millennium. They don't want these kind of a cringy stuff like Achanak se Gana, and no, they want to see the true thing because Hollywood is giving such amazing things.
Yes.
Hollywood is like, it's always been there now. Even though if they come up with Marvels or DC or anything, they do such an amazing job.
Yes.
They do such an amazing
job. Our OTT platforms as well. I think we are also...
Brahmastra is going to be a big flop.
I think so because of such
I cannot take Ranbir Kapoor as a superhero.
I cannot accept it.
He's a chocolate boy.
I'm unable to accept it. I don't know what reception. I'm sure the filmmakers think they're making something amazing out there, but as an audience, I don't think I'm excited.
They don't take fictionals. They really.
Either you make it like Avengers, which you can't because you don't have the budget, or don't make it like it's okay. Let's have our own stories.
Our stories are very different. We are known for Mother India, which was the first Oscar entry, and I think more from thing. But that is something what we are known for. Why did Lagan made over there? Why the some? Because you show beside obviously they keep showing the slums, which I get really angry. India is more than just a slum. We have much more bigger things. But this is the problem. And sending movie like Gully Boy to the Oscars, where you have such amazing movies that you didn't send.
Yes.
Gully Boy, which was just an prequel kind of thing to Eminem's 8 Miles. It was that same thing. And just because it has a slum, you just send it over there. No. Chichore was an amazing movie. It had got none awards.
There were so many Tamil movies last year, but I don't know how. Gully Boy was good. But that's about it. It was not great.
Movies
there was a movie called Super Deluxe, which I thought was one of the best movies of last year. But sadly, our industry does not seem to accept it.
I think where Bollywood support nepotism and all those things, this is where South Indian is picking up into movies.
Yes.
They are not just making flying cars, flying guns, and now they are stories which are great remake. I think Akshay Kumar is doing one more the remake of South Indian movie.
Yes.
And now they are building up like anything stories. My brothers, they watch South Indian movies every time dubbed in Hindi
because they have a great quality storytelling.
I think even if you go across the border, Pakistani, they support South Indian movies. when it comes to our channels. They support that thing because they find that that is much more relevant, and the story, there is a story also. And there is a part of, like, if you see Taapsee Pannu and they came from South India.
Yeah, correct.
Now, think
They have
about
a lot of exposure and
exposure.
And the kind of roles written there, and people, I think somehow they have, script-wise, they have gone a notch ahead than Bollywood.
Yeah.
We are still trying to, come out of the David Dhawans and the Karan Johar's
and the Kapoor
and the Kapoors and
like this thing where Sushant Singh kind of a thing, we know that a thing has happened, but we know that how much nepotism, like Ananya Pandey.
yeah.
You are giving like a movie of Ananya Pandey, she gets an award also which Chhore did not get, and there were so many like in her same category.
I think last year it was a very good time for Bollywood. We saw a lot of good films, but sadly I saw none of them in the awards.
Yeah.
And
you know,
it was
Gully
pretty
Boy, they got
surprising.
the award because the sponsors were the same of the
Yes,
movies also.
yeah, Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon. So that's the reason why they got all the awards and none.
Correct,
So
correct.
I don't prefer awards to see. There was one time when you like to see awards just for the performance
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
But
But
now,
I think now it's all
just like a play. I just skip the awards, right? Like I just completely skip the awards. So I don't really like that. And the other fact that I want to mention is like the age category
Yeah.
of women.
Yeah.
That's one of the thing. Women who just everybody wants like Salman Khan.
Bhai comes and plays a 20-year-old
It's fine.
and dating daughter of Mahesh Manjrekar in Dabang. She's 23, but Madhuri Dixit can't play a lead.
Yeah, she can't play a lead. We have Kajol. She's such an amazing.
Oh my God! I don't know. She gets to play a mom in one movie called Helicopter Ila.
Helicopter.
Probably because nobody offered her anything.
Yeah.
But I think yes. I mean, I don't know if
She
Meryl
still
Streep can
has-
play a female lead. I mean, there is no doubt.
Female lead, and still this age she can play a female lead.
And I don't understand how a guy who's 54, why can't they play mature roles also?
Yeah.
And people get old, come on, like you don't be young always. And
Okay,
there are
why did
characters beyond
Rajesh
50.
Khanna did not make after he's India's first superstar?
Yes.
Why? Because he did not change according to time.
Yeah.
People are now, why they are doing the roles and everything, because they are the mafia. We all know there's all gang up and what they say, groupism and everything. That's the reason why they even produce their own money and everything just to get into movies. So that's the reason why now actors like Arjun Kapoor, Sonam Kapoor, these people, they come and make movies. How many hits do you think Sonam Kapoor has?
Other than Neerja, I cannot remember one.
Yeah.
And she has done a lot of films, I think.
Lot of films. She's known for her fashion sense, which is amazing. I love as a fashion.
But yeah, I mean, both are different topics.
Both are different topics.
Apples and oranges. Yeah.
And when you come and after that, when you know that you are into a privileged family, then she makes a statement, oh, it's my karma. Means what if I'm born into a Sadi family, then I'm not privileged enough. So this kind of a whole dilemma is also there. But hopefully, it's actually on the public also. I really, it's a 50-50 for the public. Now when Varun Dhawan, Ananya Pandey, they want to see Tiger Shroff and everything. Now Tiger Shroff ka good same martial art ka hai Vidyut Jamwal. He does
but
the
they
same
don't,
thing. They don't
as an
consider
audience, we are also probably not
biased.
accepting it. We are also biased. That is a problem. That has been a problem. I mean, audience is king, we always say, but audience need to be. You need to feed audience properly. I mean, if you keep feeding shit, audience will watch shit and they will never grow up to, they wouldn't accept anything beyond shit.
Yeah.
So I think that is something which I agree. And yeah, Trupti, one last question which I thought we will discuss. Do you miss the era where Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol disappeared from Mumbai to Switzerland for a dance number and then came back, those lip syncing? Because I don't think we do lip syncing songs anymore. Those, I mean, it's all in the background. But do you miss that era somehow? Or like you think, no, we have had enough and now I think
we had enough of the Raj and Simran, because now people know there's nothing called Raj and Simran.
Yes.
It's no more Raj and Simran. That was the time when we were childhood and we really fancy like, okay, a guy from nowhere comes up and picks up a girl, and then there's people are against the marriage, and then things happen, they run, they fall in love, they dance and everything. We know it's not the reality.
It's not the reality.
The reality is something different. That's the reason why people prefer something else now. Is because they have been mature. I think the generation were like we were teens, and now the teens, they know the difference between them because they know what is reality and what is not. I think the Raj Simran thing, it cannot be considered. You might like those things or do in your weddings and everything, but there is
But
some
as a
kind of
movie, no, enough.
No, enough.
Enough.
It's done. Enough done.
So, Trupti, I think we have come to the end of this podcast. And again, for the audience, guys, it's a vast topic, and movies are something which we'll keep discussing because with all good movies, shit comes every year. It will come, and we will make fun of it because we're the audience in the end. And thank you, Trupti, for coming to my show. And guys, please 100 likes for Trupti, and we will see you guys next week for another show. Thank you very much.
Please, guys, like, subscribe this channel, BNB.